Hey guys, and happy Wednesday. Today is May 6th. This is for Math 2, and today we're going to talk about central and inscribed angles of a circle. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is just define what they are. So this is a central angle right here. A central angle, as you can see, starts in the center of the circle. That's why it's called a central angle. And this right here is called an arc. So the part on the outside of the circle is called an arc. The intercepted arc is the arc that matches up with the central angle. So you see how if I mark out that central angle there, it matches perfectly with this arc. And the central angle and the intercepted arc are exactly the same degrees. This is 50, this is 50. This is 100, this is 100. Okay? The other type of angle that we have is an inscribed angle. Now, an inscribed angle is not coming from the center here. It's coming from the edge of the circle, going all the way across to the other side of the circle. Okay? So inscribed angle. Again, here's your intercepted arc. So if I draw in, I highlighted in the angle, you can see that this arc matches up with it. Now, the inscribed angle and the arc are not exactly the same, though. Like this one was exactly the same. The inscribed angle is actually half of the intercepted arc. Inscribed angle, half of the intercepted arc. So that's why this is 50 and this is 100. So the first thing you need to do is figure out, is it central angle or is it an inscribed angle? And then if it's central, it's exactly the same as the intercepted arc. If it's an inscribed angle, then the inscribed angle is half of the intercepted arc. So let's look at some examples here, okay? So we'll look at our first example. Okay? First thing we're going to do is decide what kind of angle it is. So you can see that this angle starts on B. B is in the center of the circle. So we would call this a central angle. So angle BAC, I'm sorry, I put that the wrong way. B has to be in the middle because that's where the angle actually is. ABC is a central angle. And we learned that the central angle and the intercepted arc are exactly the same. And you can see, I like to highlight because it kind of helps me see it. So if I highlight the angle, do you see how that angle, if I connect it here, it matches up with this arc perfectly? So if the arc AC is 65, then that means the measure of angle ABC is also 65, exactly the same, because it's a central angle. Let's look at what happens with an inscribed angle. Okay. So notice this one. Do you see the difference? The K is on the side of the circle. Here, the B is in the center of the circle. So this is an inscribed angle. And I'll name it. So MKL. K has to be in the middle because that's what the angle is. So MKL is an inscribed angle. And if I mark it up, highlight the angle, there's my angle MKL. You'll notice that from the M to the L out here, here's the intercepted arc. So that matches up perfectly. I like to highlight because that helps me. Okay? So remember, the inscribed angle is half of the intercepted arc. We wrote that right here. So the inscribed angle here is angle MKL. I don't know why I wrote my M as a lowercase m. Sorry, guys. Anyways, so measure of angle MKL, we know has to be half of my intercepted arc, which the arc here is called ML. I put the arc on top of it to show that it's an arc. Okay, so my angle, I don't know what that is. That's what I'm trying to find. Measure of angle MKL. It's half, and then ML is 164. So half of 164 is 82. That means measure of MKL is 82 degrees. Okay. Let's look at just one more example. One more. Let's look at this one down here. Notice where your vertex of your angle is. The vertex is on the circle. It's not in the center. So this is an inscribed angle. DEC is an inscribed angle. Okay, so remember the angle is half of the arc. So the angle, measure of angle DEC, is half of the arc. Now to find out what arc it matches with, if you highlight the angle, like so, see how it opens up to this D to C arc right there? So that means it's half of the arc DC. Okay? So then I can substitute in. So the angle is 53, I already know. And I want to find the arc. So if the angle is half of the arc, to get rid of half, I can multiply by 2 to both sides. That's the opposite. So half multiplied by 2 is just 1. The opposite of multiplying by 2 is taking a half or dividing by 2. And then 2 times 53 gives me 106 as my arc. Okay, so the angle is half of the arc, or you could say the arc is double the angle. That works too. Okay, so if you guys have any other questions, feel free to let me know through Google Classroom, email, Remind, whatever I can do to help. I'd be happy to do so. Have a great day, guys.